I almost didn't answer the phone. It was 9:47 p.m. I remember because I had just glanced at the clock, debating whether to make tea or just go to bed. My day had been long, draining, and emotionally empty in that quiet kind of way that sneaks up on you. The screen lit up. Dad calling. I stared at it. We hadn't spoken properly in almost 3 months. Not since the argument. Not since I told him I was tired of being compared to my older sister. Not since he said, maybe if you tried harder, you'd understand. The phone kept ringing. Part of me wanted to let it go to voicemail. Pride is strange like that. It convinces you that silence is strength. At the last second, I answered. Hello. There was a pause on the other end. Then his voice, softer than I remembered. Hey, it's me. I almost laughed. Of course it was him. Yeah, I said flatly. I know. Another pause. I just wanted to check in, he said. See how you're doing. That caught me off guard. He wasn't a checking in type of person. He was a figured out type. I'm fine, I replied automatically. You don't sound fine. I hated that he could still read me. I'm just tired. Silence again. But this time it didn't feel tense. It felt unsure. Listen, he said slowly. I've been thinking about what you said. That night. My chest tightened. I shouldn't have compared you, he continued. That wasn't fair. I didn't know what to say. In my entire life, I could count on one hand the times my father admitted he was wrong. You don't have to say anything, he added quickly. I didn't want more time to pass. More time to pass. There was something in his tone that felt heavier than the words. Dad, I asked carefully, is everything okay? He exhaled. I went to the doctor last week. And suddenly, the tea didn't matter. The clock didn't matter. Nothing in my apartment mattered. And it's nothing immediate, he said quickly. But they found something. We're running more tests. My throat went dry. Why didn't you tell me? I didn't want you to feel obligated. Obligated. My voice cracked. I'm your kid. I know, he said softly. That's why. That's when I realized something painful. We had both been stubborn. Both been waiting for the other to reach out. Both pretending distance didn't hurt. How bad is it? I whispered. I don't know yet. The honesty scared me more than anything. We stayed on the phone for almost an hour. Not arguing. Not debating. Just talking. About work. About Mom. About the old dog he still refused to admit was too spoiled. And then, near the end, he said something I didn't expect. You know, I used to push you because I saw myself in you. I frowned. What does that mean? I was never the favorite either, he said quietly. My brother always got the praise. I thought pushing you would make you stronger. It made me feel invisible, I admitted. I know that now. Those 4 words hit harder than any apology. I had spent years thinking he didn't understand me. Maybe he just didn't know how to show it. Why didn't you ever tell me that? I asked. Because in my head, fathers don't talk about that stuff. I let out a small, shaky laugh. Well, maybe they should. He chuckled. Maybe they should. There was something healing about that moment. Not dramatic. Not cinematic. Just real. Before hanging up, he said, I'm proud of you. You know that, right? The words felt unfamiliar. No, I said honestly. I didn't. Well, he replied, I am. After we ended the call, I sat on the edge of my bed in complete silence. All those months of anger, all those assumptions, all the stories I had told myself about him, not caring. And it took one phone call to realize I might have been wrong too. I thought he compared me because I wasn't enough. But maybe he pushed me because he didn't want me to feel what he felt growing up. I had seen control. Maybe it was fear. I had seen criticism. Maybe it was misplaced protection. That night, I didn't make tea. I didn't turn on the TV. I just sat there thinking about how fragile time is. How quickly pride can steal moments you don't get back. I almost ignored that call. If I had, I wouldn't have heard his apology. I wouldn't have known about the doctor. I wouldn't have heard him say he was proud. The next morning, I texted him first. Good morning. Let me know when the next appointment is. I'm coming with you. He replied almost instantly. Okay, I'd like that. And for the first time in a long time, the distance between us didn't feel permanent. It felt fixable. Sometimes the hardest thing isn't forgiving someone else. It's accepting that you misunderstood them. That night, I realized something important. Love doesn't always show up in the way you expect. Sometimes it hides behind awkward conversations, behind strict words, behind pride. But it's there. You just have to answer the call.